got a deeper room than you've had in a while. How does that help you with what you can do and just with guys pushing other guys?
Yeah, competition is always good, and these guys know that they're competing every day. The great part about this group is that there's a bunch of veterans now, so these are guys that have played since they were freshmen and sophomores and maybe experienced some growing pains those first couple years, but all that's kind of paying off now. So the juniors, the seniors especially, those guys take ownership, and we feel like the standard of our unit doesn't change whether you're number 1 or number 8 in the group. So the different skill sets too is awesome because each guy is a little bit different, and there's obviously versatility is at a premium at linebacker, so being able to cover, rush, run, stop, all that stuff. And I feel like all of our guys have good awareness in all those areas and good skill set in all those areas, but different guys having different skill sets, different body types definitely helps in certain personnel packages. So we're excited about unleashing everybody this year.
Does that expand your call sheet a little bit too?
Yeah, I think so. Anytime that you have guys that can do multiple things in multiple personnel groups, you can start doing stuff in one personnel group that you normally wouldn't see because those guys are capable of doing that stuff. So that for sure helps. Yep.
I know building up depth is something you guys have kind of put your mind to for a long time, especially defensively. How fulfilling is it to see it in your room?
Yeah, it's cool. It's like I said, there's been a little bit of labor pains in the past to get to this point, but and it's a testament to all the guys that have stayed here. We've been able to retain a bunch of guys that I'm sure had opportunities elsewhere, and they're part of the brotherhood. They love it here, and they want to be a part of this mission, to win. So it's been awesome to see that, and really from an individual standpoint, like each guy's been on a different progression line, and being able to see a guy go from maybe his first year never having played linebacker, and then all of a sudden now going into their 4th year, like they're ready to compete at a high level in the SEC. It's awesome to see. So
where's Bryce Cowan in terms of his development and just getting better at knowing where he needs to be and those things?
Yeah, Bryce he's one of those guys that when he first came in, high school safety, had never played linebacker before. There's a run play and he's backing up, he just wasn't used to it, but his traits are excellent. He's big, he's athletic, he's physical, and just over the course of time, he's worked his butt off to become a dude, really. And we're so excited for that because he's gone from a guy who, hey, maybe baby steps, his freshman year, sophomore year, role on special teams, junior year, role on special teams, increased role on defense, and now it's time to unleash him fully on all aspects of the game. So I'm so excited for him because like I said, he's worked his butt off to get there. And there have been, minor setbacks along the way, but every time he's been backed into a corner, he's fought out of it. And that's a testament to him. That's a testament to his background. And that's what makes it really fun, is to see a guy like that, come to fruition, because that you've seen it in him from the beginning. It's just taken a little bit while to get it all out of him. But he's shown that he can be an impact, even his sophomore year. Pick 6 against Auburn. Junior year, obviously the ST stuff, that play against LSU on kickoff, and then he had a few really good plays on defense as well. And now it's just a matter of being able to fully realize that production this year.
Talk about the depth in the room. He feels like a guy that could have gone elsewhere and started. If he chose to do that, he stayed. Is that a guy you feel like maybe you got to be intentional with getting on the field with how many guys you've got, especially experienced ones?
Yeah, and I think it's always, like I said, it's always a competition. So these guys are competing for reps. We're trying to get the best 11 out there. It's not about appeasing anybody or making anybody happy. But when you look at him, it's like, dude, how is he not going to get on the field? It's like that dude has a role in every personnel group. He can rush the passer, he can drop into coverage, he's a physical blitzer. So absolutely going to be looking for every opportunity to get him on the field. And these guys know, whether you're a starter, whether you're the 4th or 5th guy, we're always competing. So those roles are not set in stone. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. It doesn't matter what's going to happen. It'll always be fluid, and we'll always be, competing for that based on performance.
What's the next step for Brian Longwell?
Brian, another guy who played as a freshman and then obviously took great strides as a sophomore, veteran guy now, like leader. He has such a great instinct for the football, and there's a lot of stuff that certain guys you have to coach everything. Like you don't have to coach everything with Brian because he has such a good feel, and that's due to him. The work he did in high school, his background, all that stuff. But for him now, it's a matter of like trimming the margins, eliminating all the wasted space out of his game, and he's done a great job of that. He's very intentional, active in terms of nobody wants to learn more football than Brian. He's always in my office, he's always watching tape, and you see it pay off on the field because that dude has an anticipation and an awareness that's natural, but then also you put on top of it the fact that he not only knows what he has to do and the guys around him has to do, but now he has a great feel for what the offense is doing. And you put all those things together, and the sky's the limit for him. So we're really excited for that.
With Nick Rinaldi,
yeah.
and with the competition you've got, is he more of a situational pass rush guy, or is he more of a well-rounded guy that could be on the field at any down?
In the past, it's been more situational. His freshman and sophomore year, he's an every down player now, every down player. So that I have no hesitation about putting him on the field in any situation. His versatility in the past has been what's gotten him on the field because he has the pass rushing ability. He's super athletic, he can cover, but that dude has become a bona fide first and second down linebacker. So I don't care if it's 3rd and 1 and it's our heavy packages on the field, he's going to be out there, he's going to be ready to make plays. So his role will not be limited to just those roles that he's had significant roles on in the past. He'll be playing those roles, but it'll also be a lot of other stuff too, first and second down, base downs, and all that.
I know you sort of touched on this the first question, but when you dig in, how do you really separate reps when you've got that many guys that can do that many things?
Yeah, the great part about it is I don't feel like there's any hesitation to put anybody on the field in any situation, and that again, that's a testament to these guys working their butts off, developing. Like I said, all of them have different skill sets, but that's a good thing because you kind of no two players are alike, and I think what that does is that allows you to kind of roll them in any situation. So in terms of reps in camp too, it's really important that we want to play into January, so being able to not wear the tread off the tire for certain guys is good. So being able to rotate evenly and get everybody reps, and then even get the young guys reps, the freshmen and sophomores, that's valuable now. And so as far as splitting up the reps, we're going to keep it as even as possible. There might be a slight tilt going into game week and stuff like that, but I have no hesitation about putting anybody in any situation right now, which is great because now we don't have guys that have to take 70 reps in practice and practice 5 of fall camp. They're already beat down and worn out. We can even it out, and we can make sure that guys are fresh throughout the season.
How much does that help you against up-tempo offenses? Not just the depth, but knowing that you can put a guy in a flash and he's ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely helps. I think in the past, you guys alluded to it before, maybe didn't have the depth that we have now, and that you can get worn down, especially when you're going against tempo and stuff like that. Now the bodies are fresher. There's no reason why, even if say our best linebacker is tired, there's no reason why he should be on the field because we have other guys that are just as good, or close to it. Get them in and they're fresh, and we'll be in a better situation there. So we feel like there's not a drop off there, and to your point, that definitely helps when it comes to tempo and stuff like that.
I know it's not your room specifically, but how difficult is it to guard Martel Hyatt from a defensive perspective?
Yeah, it's funny. The last couple practices, it's who's that on offense that just caught, a go ball? Who's that on offense that just caught a slant and got vertical? And I look up and it's Martel, And so he's bouncy, he's athletic. Obviously, he has great ball skills. So, we need him on defense, but we love seeing him. It's not great during the period, but that it's going to pay off on Saturdays during the fall. Seeing him in the end zone. So anytime we can get him the ball, it's fun.